So now we're going to change the color of the shapes. By default, shapes are filled with white and have a black stroke, which is the border. You see mine right here. Next, we're going to change the color of both rectangles to different colors. With this smaller rectangle still selected, click the Fill Color box in the Properties panel on the right. In the panel that opens, make sure the swatches option, which is this, which we have, see where it says swatches right there. Select a green color to fill the shape. Doesn't matter what color, I'm going to select that one. You can select any green color you want. Click and let's see, press escape and that will hide the swatches panel. And then we're going to click the stroke color box. Make sure the swatches is still there and click none, this red line, and that removes it so there's no stroke around it. Hit escape again. Now click the larger rectangle, click the fill color box, make sure swatches, and we're going to select black. Press the escape key to hide that. Click the stroke color and select none to remove the stroke from that as well. And then press escape and then select, deselect. So you should have something that looks similar to this. We are now going to drag to round corners, the corners of rectangles. These rectangles don't look much like a bird, do they? Luckily, it's easy to round off the corners of rectangles to make more interesting and practical shapes. In the next few sections, we're going to round the corners of the rectangles. So click the larger rectangle to select it. Let's do view and then zoom in. View, zoom in. View, zoom in. I wonder if I can do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. Alright, so you should be zoomed into about right here. You need to be able to see the live corners widgets in each corner of the rectangle. If you're zoomed out far enough, the live corners widgets are hidden on the shape. So you need to zoom in. So the live corner widgets is this thing right here that's inside there. You know what I don't have on? Let's do this, shall we? Screen cursor. Okay. So now we can see where I'm going. So this right here, you see in each corner, those are what's called the live corners widget. So drag any of the live corners widgets toward the center to round all the corners a little bit. Don't do it a lot. Just see how it drug it in? And they all did that. The more you drag toward the center, the more rounded they become. If you drag them far enough, you're going to see a red arc, which tells you see how it's a red arc, and that tells you that's as far as it can go. So just drag them in so it's just a little bit. And then we're going to click to select the smaller green rectangle. Drag any of those live corners in so they're rounded just a little bit. So aside from dragging to change the corner radius, you can also change the radius of all or individual corners in the Properties panel. Select the larger rectangle. Everybody say hey to Gabby, she just walked in. So selecting the larger rectangle in the Properties panel over here, in the Transform section, we're going to click the More Options button, which is these three dots right here. Ensure that the link corner radius values is off. So that's this right here. See how there's a line through it? If you click it, it toggles on and off. So on there, so we want it to have the line through it. Click the down arrow for the upper left corner to make it 0. Hang on, confused myself here. I know that surprises you. Having issues. Okay, let me click this again. I know you saw that click. Alright, so this, clicking this down to where it says, oh, I didn't undo them. We don't want them linked. Alright, you see how this went back to a rectangle? Do the same for the lower left corner of the rectangle. We want to remove that radius as well. Click the up arrow for the lower right corner several times until you see a value of approximately 525. You could also type that in. Let's type it. Oop, 88, what? I know y'all saw me type 525. 525. Okay. Aside from changing the corner radius, you can also change the corner type. You can choose between round, which is a default, inverted round, and chamfer. Anybody know what chamfer means? I don't, but I guess we'll figure that out later. Click to select the smaller rectangle. In the Properties panel, click More Options in the Transform section again. For the next step, you need to pay attention on which corner is adjusted in the figure. Since the green shape was rotated earlier, the corner values in the panel no longer seem to correspond to the correct corner of the shape. Ensure that the link corner radius values is off. Should look like this. And we want to change the corner radius for the upper right corner so to round it as much as you can. So see, this is now the upper right corner, even though that doesn't look like it's what it should be, but that's because we rotated it. Oh, there's the bell. Oh. 0.505 is the most you can do. Alright, so let's see. Number 10. Choose the chamfer from the corner type. For the lower left corner of the rectangle, which is, that's the lower left. So click right there. If you hover your mouse, you see that's round, inverted round, and that's chamfer. So select that. Make the corner radius for the same lower left larger to see the chamfer. You see where it changed this right here, so it just is a little angle. Guess that's as much as it'll let you do. Alright, press the escape key to close the options panel. Leave that rectangle selected. Select the direct selection tool in the toolbar. With the smaller rectangle still selected, double click the upper left live corners widget. So I'm going to double click that. An arrow is pointing to change the radius value to 0. So when you double click it, that opens up. So change this to 0. It's just showing you different ways that you can change those. So click the live corners widget in the lower right corner. I'll click OK. Click this live corners. Now drag it. drag it away. We wanted to move it. Undo. So now we're going to click this. I struggle with this. Click it to select it. My mouse is frozen again. Nope, it's not what I wanted to do. Click it, drag it. My problem was I would drag this and this would do something, so I did it right that time. So this is now straight and this has still got this. So this would be a great time to click select, deselect, and then file, save.